Hey yo! Yeah, this is me. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kinda like living life. I guess we could do a little story time about how I got surgery. Yeah, y'all. Wait, check it. Oh shit. That is funny. Well, okay. Maybe it's not, but like, it also kind of is. But yeah, basically, I had a tumor in my right temporal lobe. It's causing me to have seizures. That's a whole other story. My past year has been something. It's been a crazy something, but you know what? That's life for everyone. Everyone's life is insane. So I think, I don't even know what the date is. Okay, it just hit a month because my surgery was on October 11th. So I knew about this surgery. I've known it was gonna happen for a while. I could have done it in the summer, but I've been going to some camp for like my whole life. And this is like the last year, and the last year you go the whole summer. And I talked about it with my family, and I was like, okay, that's important to me, that's really special, and they let me do it, even though it sucks I'd have to have the surgery during the year, but yeah. So, on October 11th, woke up bright and early, and headed to the hospital. Basically, the whole time leading up to this, I was like, I knew I was gonna have surgery, but it was like, yeah, no. I mean, it just didn't feel real. It's like nothing hit me that they are cutting open your brain and taking something out. No, that just didn't hit me. Partially because of COVID and everything, I rarely saw my doctors. I've met my surgeon like before this once. It was weird. I pretty much had no clue what was about to go down, but it's fine. And okay, wait. The name of the surgery, I'm so sorry. I believe it was a partial lobectomy in my right temporal lobe. See, I'm there, sitting in the waiting room. I mean, honestly, my parents were definitely freaking out more than me. I'm like chilling, straight chilling. Then they tell me to go into the pre-op. And that's when it's kind of like, oh, you might be getting brain surgery. And I'm like, ooh. So I start kind of freaking a little bit, but you know, it's fine. I'm chilling. So they put me on the little bed and yeah, just sticking shit in me. Just going boop, 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 you know, whatever. Thing is, like, I'm very talky. I just joke. I joke with everyone, and I was just talking the whole time. And eventually they're like, okay, we're gonna give you some stuff. It's gonna calm you down before we give you the anesthesia. And I'm like, yeah, okay. They put it in me, and I'm just all like talking. It's all like, yeah, you're gonna start feeling. I'm like, no, I'm not tired. So they start wheeling me to where I'm getting surgery. I said my goodbyes. They start wheeling me over. I'm there. I'm in the room. All I really remember, it wasn't as bright or as white. Like, I thought it'd be a white room, you know, like we're thinking Grey's Anatomy type of thing. But it's just this, like, weird kind of dark-ish, but there's, like, one main light, like, above, you know, just to make sure they're doing all the right things. And yeah, then there's some people in there. And then they put the little mask with, like, the oxygen in it. So I feel a little tired. I'm gonna take a nap. That's when it all went. Okay, not dead. We're not dead. But it's when I went sleepy. And yeah, that's like all I remember until I woke. And when I woke up, my throat, like, it wasn't even my head, where they made an incision. It was my throat that hurt so bad. And basically, my whole head was wrapped in this, like, wrapping, and it was super tight. So all that I really felt was like this pressure. I woke up, and my parents just kind of looked at me, and they're like, hey, and I'm like, hi. I was really confused and just like in a little bit of pain or whatever. And my nurses came in, and I am so weird. The first thing I think to ask is, what's your favorite hospital show? They start shit talking Grey's Anatomy. It's like, so how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm okay, just my throat hurts. And she's like, yeah, that's because they put a tube down your throat. And you know, that's to breathe. But yeah, I was just talking. Give me some apple juice to try and drink, just, you know, to get something in me. And I took a sip of that. And I just went, "Bleh." Like, it tastes good, don't get me wrong, but my body was not ready for that yet. So yeah, that's kind of how it went at first. And there, you know, hanging out. I'm kind of going in and out of consciousness, like I kind of fall asleep sometimes, whatever. And then they say, okay, we're gonna have to get a scan at 1 a.m. And I'm like, okay. And then they just start rolling me, because you know, you're in those little rolling beds, just start rolling me down. I'm just going. And I think my mom came with me. I don't remember. But yeah, it literally is like the definition of a fever dream. I barely remember it, but I just remember it being so weird. Like, it's weird being just half awake and just kind of going with the flow. So I get my little scan, go back up in the room, and I obviously fell asleep because literally all I wanted to do was sleep. I was so tired all the time. Because, you know, they just sliced up in my brain. Yeah, so that happens. And it's probably the next day. I mean, we go to like the more pediatric centered area for post-op where, you know, you stay for a few days, whatever. So we go there, and I'm actually starting to eat food by then. Hospital food. I mean, it's not that it was that bad, it's just that after having it for 3 days, it kind of starts tasting a little bad. I just kind of was in there for a while. And also another thing that really hurt was my neck so bad. Like, it just felt like this cramp that wouldn't go away. It was so hard to sleep. So I wanted them to take that damn wrapping off my head so bad. So like, it just felt like this pressure. So the day came, it was probably like the second or third day, and they took it off. So they take that wrapping off, and I find out I still have hair. Because going into this, my doctor was like, yeah, you're gonna be rocking a pretty cool side part for a while. Wait, what? So I thought this whole side of my head was gonna be gone. But we come to find out, it's just this little piece. It's just right here. And my hair was already growing back then too. But there were also staples, which you'll see. I was on drugs. They put me on these crazy painkillers because it hurt so bad. Oh gosh, it was hard to sleep, all the pain. It just, yeah, looking back on it, I'm like, I've been on opioids. Kind of a flex, not gonna lie. It was kind of hard to like move around, so then I just kind of went back to sleep, whatever, and my doctors would always be coming in and out. My room was the party room. I talked to everyone. I would not stop talking. I think everyone else on my floor was pretty boring, like they're probably little kids. I'm like 16 or whatever, so I would just talk, and I'd be like, guys, I swear I have good style, because, okay, that's literally so stupid, but the weirdest stuff came out of my mouth. Like, me in my little hospital gown. I would just talk about, like, I love the thrift. I make bomb-ass food because I'm a little chef, let me tell you. I gave restaurant suggestions. Yeah, I would just talk. And my nurses and everyone, they were so nice. So nice. I mean, those were all the, like, best things. I got to spend a lot of time with my mom. And my dad would come and I'd be like, Dad, yay! And one time, actually, once or twice, he brought me Yoga Art, which is a vegan frozen yogurt place. So good. It's literally insanely good. I got so happy. So happy. Those were like the best things. I feel like I am being very positive, which I'm a pretty positive person. My experience all around, like, I got out of it, but there were some hard times. There was a lot of pain. So much pain. I remember begging for morphine. They put it through the IV. It's just funny. But, I mean, that would help, but also stomach problems, because I already have a sensitive stomach, and, like, I'm very used to what I make at home, because I cook all my food, and then the hospital food messed with me. Messed with me so bad. Eventually, I'm doing a lot better. I've started walking a little bit, and it's time to think about going home. That was exciting. I was excited to go home, but my doctor comes in and tells me before I go home, what do I have to do? I have to poop. Like, that sounds so stupid. No, I know that sounds so stupid. So, poop journey begins because throughout all these like 6 days, I have not pooped. And the thing is, I didn't think about it. I didn't think like, oh, wait, why didn't I poop? I did not think about it. And they tell me that, I'm like, oh, I guess I haven't. So, the journey begins trying to find ways to make adira poop. It was just trying everything. There were like little fruit stands outside the hospital. My mom would go and get me like those big ass things of fruit, and all it would do is make my stomach hurt because now I have all this fiber in me that won't come out. We tried prune juice. We tried like everything. They're like, you know what? Nothing works. We're gonna have to give you an enema. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, we'll let your parents tell you. So they leave, and my parents are both just like looking at each other and laughing. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And they're like, it's a laxative. And I'm like thinking, okay, most laxatives, right? You just like take with your, I've never taken one. You stick it up your ass. And I'm like, but like, I was scared. Never done that before. So yeah, that's what I find out. I couldn't even do that. Tried for like one more day because me and my mom are very natural route always. Like, we would like to do things that type of way. But it didn't work. So then, they did it. They did the enema. And I have to say, it made me shake. It hurt like hell. My stomach. It was so bad. It was so bad. But once that happened, I had the clear to go home. That was so exciting. Going home. I mean, it was like bittersweet because I had kind of grown a relationship with my nurses. Like, we were all homies, we all talked constantly. It was just so fun. But yeah, and I went home. The best. There is something about being in the hospital that you just don't feel as good. You kind of feel worse. So me and my mom, we driving home. We get home. Okay, stop. It was the cutest thing. She had all these little presents for me. These new pajamas, like some fun little bath things. Oh, so cute. It was just cool to be with my family, be all together. Yeah, there's so much more. I mean, there's a whole, there's everything after the recovery aspect at home. It was something, even though, you know, this is kind of like a broad kind of story. It was just far the crazy experience of my life. There you go. That's my little part 1 of brain surgery. Love you. Peace.